This is the review video for the Stearns Chapter 11 through 12 test that you'll be taking next week in class. So again, keep in mind that this review sheet only has 9 questions on it, yet there's 40 more multiple choice questions on your test. So this is not exhaustive of what you need to know for the test, but this is just to help get you in the right track. So Coach Dragone and I highly recommend that you have your books with you when you're doing the review, because all of the test questions that we get come directly out of the text, which is where your notes come from. So let's go through 1 through 9. Take a look. Describe. Number 1 says describe the details of manorialism and feudalism in detail. Manorialism was the local economy system in the Middle Ages in Europe. Make sure you're familiar with serfs. They were the primary workers on the manor. You need to be familiar with some of the advancements that were made during the time period, the moldboard plow, the three-field system. In the later Middle Ages, the serfs become freer. When you look at feudalism, this is the main political system of the time, and roughly it's an exchange of land for military protection, but be familiar with the chart of feudalism that we looked at in the class and how that worked exactly. Question number 2, key information about the medieval church and the Crusades. The medieval church was the closest thing in Europe to the old Roman Empire as far as structure, how they were organized. The church and the kings oftentimes fought over power. The Crusades can be described as a holy war. The Crusades were successful only in the short term, however, for the Christians. Be familiar with people like Peter Abelard and Bernard of Clairvaux, how they had a dispute over logic and reason versus faith. You also need to be familiar with Thomas Aquinas, who wrote the Summas, which is the sum of the theology that they had during the Middle Ages. And he really tries to explain the sum of the Christian faith. You also need to be familiar with the term scholasticism, which was an attempt to bridge the Christian faith and reasoning during the time period. Question number 3, the importance of the Magna Carta. This was a document signed by King John that really put the checks on the king's power in the year 1215. Question number 4, what importance did medieval guilds serve? Guilds encouraged an increase in production, and it also protected the makers of products. So you want to associate guilds are all about the economics during the Middle Ages also. Question number 5, the Aztec rise to power. The Aztecs were founded on Lake Texcoco, and they were relatively newcomers to the area, a nomadic group of people that moved in and took over after the Toltecs. The city of Tenochtitlan was said to be preordained. Remember the story of the eagle with the serpent in its talons. It was a lot like Greece because the Aztecs were set up in city-states also. And so Tenochtitlan was, you can see that as a similarity to Athens, where it's supposed to be equal among city-states, but there's usually one city-state that is seen as more important than the others. Question number 6, the Aztec religious system. The Aztec religion was a lot like Hinduism in the sense of the multitude of gods that they had and polytheistic, except the Aztecs embraced human sacrifice as part of their religion, and human sacrifice had been around for a while in Mesoamerica, but the Aztecs really took it to the extreme. Historians argue 2 things about the human sacrifices. One argument is that the Aztecs really believed this. They really believed that the sun fed on a steady diet of blood and human hearts. Other historians say the Aztecs didn't really believe that. It was just a terror tactic that they used to exert control over the people that they had conquered and the people that lived in their realm. You also need to be familiar with the Aztecs and how they viewed time and how time and religion are very much connected in the Aztec world, and they viewed time as cyclical. I'm trying to scroll down so you can see question 7 on the review sheet here. I'll just read it. Question 7 says, list some key characteristics of the Aztec economic system. So here you want to focus on Chiapas is important, and how the Aztecs had a strong central economy. Number 8, the key characteristics of the Aztec social system. The Aztecs were broken into the Calpulli, which is spelled Clapulli, which roughly is clans. It's similar to the caste system that we see in South Asia. Question number 9, describe the key aspects of Inca civilization. The Incas had states, towns, they had a social hierarchy system, but no writing system. The Incas were a civilization that were dedicated to conquest, and the capital of Cuzco was located in the Andes Mountains. 2 possible short answers that you're going to see on your exam are going to be about medieval manners and also the Aztec and the Inca political system. So focus on manoralism for your short answer, and you also want to focus on some of the similarities and differences between the Aztecs and the Incas. Good luck studying, and I hope you do great.